We've got another player that's going to go in this region, maybe in the mid-second round. Me, as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, a team famous for taking wide receivers in the second and into the third round and then producing the goods. Do we have another name that we can talk about in this range?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Xavier Worthy isn't talked about as back end of the first round. I know a lot of people had Troy Franklin knocked in at the Chiefs. I think they're going to have to address, after Rashee Rice's little incident, that they might have to address another wide receiver. And I think Franklin was rumbled before the draft process, but I think Worthy's combine probably swapped those two round and maybe gave him a chance to go right back end of the first, early second. Like I said, there's a couple of plethora of teams that we go in there as well. So I think Worthy's got a shot after what he produced, but there is some question marks on him. You know, he is quick. He is, you know, his vertical was absolutely fantastic. He can jump, but he's very slender. And I do worry about his size going into the NFL. I think he took a couple of big hits during his time at college and it didn't look great. So I do worry about his size, but lots of players have overcome that. Adams, like I said, Tank Dell's managed to fit in at a smaller size. Jordan Addison's managed to fit in at a smaller size. I know Smith is taller, but, you know, again, another guy that we were worried about him being slender. So I do worry about that, but I think his skill set is good enough. And I've seen flashes of him being fantastic in games, and I've seen flashes of him kind of going a little bit missing sometimes. But if you can get a good coach with him and get more of that high-end stuff that I saw, I think he can be fantastic. I've seen him catch some incredible passes as well. So I think he's got the talent there, and there's a high ceiling for him. I need to see more from him, because I was really excited about him, and he had a great career at Texas, but I thought there was going to be more.
Well, he had 197 receptions, 2,755 yards, 26 touchdowns. But last year he had 1,014 yards, 5 touchdowns. Do you think the moving of Adonai Mitchell over to Texas hindered his development a little bit?
I don't think it hindered his development. They're very, very different types of guys. Adonai Mitchell was always going to be a bit more of a red zone target with his height and his presence. So I'm not too worried about the touchdowns. I think he had more the year before, I believe. But, you know, the yards were there, and that's what he's there for. He's more of a yards guy than a red zone touchdown guy.
So he almost works in tandem a little, you know, better rather than we talked about the shadowing of Neighbors with Thomas. It's not quite the same over here at Texas, because they're I mean, I know Neighbors and Thomas aren't similar players either, but I suppose, yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's just a different dynamic, isn't it, with these two players, right?
Yeah, completely.